Hello everyone. I wanted to make a video discussing the different Bernina feet because it's a topic that seems to come up quite often on the Vintage Bernina Facebook group, and people are very helpful at posting pictures and posting descriptions, but I'm a very visual person, and so I promised Candace that I would make a video visually explaining the feet. So here's my shot at it. And since we deal with vintage Bernina machines in the group, what I'm going to show you are the differences between the vintage feet and also the differences between the vintage feet and the new style feet. The foot that I have here in my finger is, I believe, the 9-groove pintuck foot, and I think that it's the oldest foot that I have. But as you can see, it has the thick, fat pins and the rounded back. So those are the two things that tell us this is a vintage foot. This foot, the number one thing that tells us it's a vintage foot is the round back. And there's no notch anywhere on that back. It is smooth and round. When we look at the pins and we see that they're a little fatter than they are on this one, this is an old style 0 foot with the round back, but the pins are just a little bit thinner on this foot than they are on this foot. And so the rule is your feet are compatible backwards. The thick pinned feet will fit the 930 and down, actually the 950 and down. I'm sitting here at my 950, and any thick pinned foot will fit on the 950 and down. Years ago, when I got into vintage Bernina sewing machines, I read a lot on the Bernina 30-something Yahoo group, and the terms that were used on that group were, this is called old style because it is the oldest of the cone feet. This one is simply called old style, and that's how you differentiate between the very thick pins and the thinner pins. So this foot, these two feet are the same. This is the 000 foot that would be found on a 930, an 830, a 730. When the 10 series came out sometime in the 1980s, Bernina changed the stitch width of the machines, and these feet are a little wider, but they also went to the thin pins. So this foot is off of a 10 series machine, and what that means, any machine model Bernina 1000 through a 1530. Now when I said backwards compatible, I can use this on any 10 series machine, but I can also use it on a 930, an 830, a 730, etc. You just want to be sure that if you have an old style foot with the thin pins on an old style machine, such as a 930 or an 830 or a 730, be sure that when you attach the foot, you don't get any wobbling. Let me put this on my 950 and we'll see how it looks. Tight as a drum, no wobbling, so I can use this just fine on my 950. So just to recap briefly, the thick pinned is for the 930 and down. This will not work on a 10 series. 1030, 1230, 1530, what have you. This foot will not work. This one will. And so then, when Bernina got really fancy and came out with the 1630, they came out with these feet, because I've read that because it has a glass eye, it's a new style foot. That is not necessarily true. We still have the thin pins. Now, because of the eye, we can't rely on the round back on this one. The only machine that the thin pinned, old style, coated feet will work on, or that they're intended for, are the 1630. Does this foot fit any other 10 series? Of course it does. Do I need it? That's up to you. Why would I put a 9mm foot on a 4mm machine? There's nothing wrong with it. You can do it, but it's your decision. But again, because this is coated does not make it a new style foot. This is still an old style foot for a 1630 with the thin pins. Then we get to our new style feet. And the first thing that you will notice that is different are the labels are red. These are black. The red labels are one indication that these feet are for new style machines. And you'll have to forgive me. I don't know which model started the new style machines. Maybe the 180, maybe the 165, I don't know. I totally skipped that generation of Bernina machines. I went from a 1630 to a brand new machine in 2015. So I skipped about 15 years worth of machines there. But aside from the red label, we have a flat back with a notch in it. You still have pins. They're just hidden behind this little bar right here. If we turn the foot around, there's our pins. There are new style feet that do not have this bar. It just has pins. And there has been some confusion in some of the other Bernina groups that these are old style feet labeled in red. That is not true. Lynn Vega verified this with the Bernina dealership in Oklahoma City. If it has a flat back and a notch, it is a new style foot and it will not fit your vintage machine. Another misleading foot in this saga is the number 55 roller foot. The number 55 roller foot for the old style machine and the new style machine look nearly identical. I recently read on another Bernina page on Facebook that you could use either on either machine. Again, that is not true. How do I know? I tried putting my 55 foot on my new Bernina 770 and it doesn't work. So I hope I have answered some questions and cleared up some confusion. And this is just to help those people that are new to the vintage Bernina machines and wondering, what feet do I have? What feet do I need? Get everybody grouped here together again. So let's just recap this from oldest to newest. The very thick pinned old style feet. Lost my focus there. 930 and down. Next is the old style thin pinned feet for the 10 series and down. Then we have the coated thin pin old style feet for the 1630. And then we have our new flat back, slotted, red labeled new style feet. And again, these are for, I guess it would be the artistas. I think those were the first of what we refer to as the modern Berninas. So again, I hope this has cleared up some confusion. I hope you find this helpful. Please feel free to ask any questions and we will happily answer. Thank you.